everyone. I am Kanisha Grayson, founder and CEO of The Art of Applying, and today we have one of our amazing clients here to share her story. Her name is LaTisha. Hi, LaTisha.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you so much for being here to share your story.
I'm excited.
Yes, I'm excited. So as you know, we start everything at The Art of Applying with celebrations, and I would love for you to share your recent great news with everybody.
Yes, so as of last week, I was able to claw myself off of the waitlist at Northwestern Law, my number one choice.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm still feeling, I can't believe it.
Yes, I'm so excited. And I know that, yes, and I know that people who may find themselves on waiting lists for law school may be like, oh, but what was the exact day? So why don't you actually, if you can, share with us kind of the exact day that you were admitted from the waiting list?
On June 30th, 2020. Yeah.
June 30th.
So Monday, I think that was.
Okay, good. So not a lot of heads up before school starts. Yeah. When do you need to report to the on-campus or digital campus or whatever's happening?
Right. So orientation is the week of August 17th, and then classes start on the 24th, the following Monday.
Okay, got it. Wonderful. All right. How do you feel?
I'm still processing. I don't know if it's fully hit me yet. Obviously I'm thrilled. It's been a long time coming. I've been working with you on this for quite a while. And so for it to have finally happened, it kind of feels like it happened to someone else. Like I feel like I'm an outsider. Like, did that really just happen? So I just feel like I'm processing. I don't know if it's really officially hit me yet. It's probably going to officially hit me once I'm like in class.
Yes.
I can't even believe it.
Well, believe it, because it happened, and you're going to be a wildcat again. And I'm just so excited for you. So the thing that all the viewers and listeners always want to know is, okay, it happened for her. Can it happen for me? So I want you to share with the viewers and listeners, your approximate LSAT score range, your GPA, where'd you go to college, what's your work experience? Yeah. Just kind of give them the rundown of your numbers so that the person can kind of measure themselves up against you.
Sure. So I went to Northwestern for my undergrad as well. I did pretty well in school. I got a 3.67 GPA. LSAT, it was below the 160s. And in terms of work experience, I've been working in regulatory compliance or doing regulatory compliance work for primarily fintechs or financial technology firms. For the last 6 years, I graduated from Northwestern back in 2014. And I've been able to kind of claw myself up the ranks doing that. And that's kind of what's influenced my desire to go to law school. So.
Awesome. Okay. So below 160 is a really big deal. We have another client whose score was in the low 160s, who we helped get into Harvard Law School from the waiting list. And that was a huge win for us. But now this is, I would say, an even bigger win to help you get in to Northwestern Law School with a below 160 LSAT. How many times did you take it? What was that like for you? And did you even feel like a top law school could happen for you with that LSAT?
Honestly, I didn't. And that was exactly why I reached out to you guys. I took the LSAT 3 times and was never able to crack the 160 score. And these schools are looking for high 160s, 170s. And I really felt it was impossible and knew I needed some help. And it was stressful. I've never been a great standardized test taker. This was something I've always struggled with my whole life, having learning disabilities. And just being in a standardized testing environment is very stressful. And I always was afraid that was something that was going to hold me back. So I knew I needed a little bit more help in terms of like crafting my story and getting my voice out there. And palatable in a way that I couldn't be turned down. And so, yeah, that's kind of where you guys came in there because I knew on that alone, the raw numbers, it wasn't going to happen.
That's right. And I love that you said, so that they, get my story out there in a palatable way to where they couldn't turn me down. An irresistible applicant.
Yes.
So yeah, that's who definitely applied, was the irresistible applicant. But let's rewind.
Yes.
To 2 years ago. I actually I'm going to pull up on my computer the day you signed up with us. So right now we are at July 9th, 2020.
Yes.
Right? So you got your good news June 30th, 2020, and you signed up with us January 23rd, 2018.
Yes.
So that's
2.5 years.
2.5 years of us working together, you and the Art of Applying team. So let's rewind 2.5 years to January 2018. Tell us, how did you find the Art of Applying? And when you did, what resonated with you that made you reach out for help?
I'm actually blanking on how I came across you guys. Literally been thinking about it. Like before you even asked that, I've been trying to remember over the last few days how I stumbled across you guys. I feel like someone mentioned something on Facebook.
Yeah, in the form where you signed up, I just looked, it says that it was a Facebook ad.
There we go. It had to have been like something on Facebook, and I was like, this seems cool. And I remember going to the website and seeing one that the founder was a Black woman, someone I saw myself in. And like just reading through the testimonials, and I wound up scheduling that breakthrough call and talking to the breakthrough call
coach. Yeah, the breakthrough coach
with the breakthrough coach, and getting an idea of like how the program worked. I felt like I would be doing myself a disservice by passing up on this opportunity and not investing in my future and giving myself the best shot possible at getting into my dream school. And as you mentioned, like this has been 2.5 years in the making. That first cycle, I didn't get the results I was hoping for. We were very realistic about my chances, right? And we still gave a great story. But I was like, no, like I'm not gonna accept no for an answer. Like I extended my engagement and we tried again this time. And here we are.
Here we are.
We did this.
We did do this. We did do this, LaTisha, and I'm so proud of you. Now, are you a woman who was born with a silver spoon in her mouth and you have a trust fund and your dad went to Yale and your mom went to Stanford? Tell us a little bit about yourself, whatever personal adversities and that you've overcome that you want to share, you're open to sharing.
Absolutely. I'm an open book. I was born crack cocaine addicted, various health issues, my siblings as well, alcohol and drug abused infancies. Me and my siblings were adopted from a very young age. I've been with my parents since I was less than a month old, and that's been the story for all my siblings too. They're the only parents I've ever known. And I thank God every day for them. But no, we didn't grow up with a lot of money. As long as I can remember, my parents have been retired. I have very older parents. I'm 28 and my dad is exactly 50 years older than me. So like I've always grown up with like older parents, retired, and so we've lived on fixed incomes. My mom didn't work as long as my dad, so she really didn't have like any like pensions or social or anything coming in. So we mainly lived off of my dad's retirement income. Growing up, we've historically been a less than $50,000 a year income family. So no, we didn't have a lot of resources. We had free lunch in school. I went to public schools. I went to a high school that scores very low on college readiness. I believe when I looked years ago, it had like a 9.8 out of 100 points.
Oh no.
Yeah, like the graduation rate is like 69%. So I've always been a person that, like, regardless of where I'm at, I try to make the very best of those.
That's right.
Did very well in high school to try to make myself stand out as much as possible. I also didn't do very well on the ACT. It's just not a thing, right? It's not something for me. So I've been able to be fortunate enough to do well in school and allow that to help propel me to be able to be at these institutions, to graduate from places like Northwestern, and do well in those institutions. Yeah, my background wasn't the best.
Yeah, you were, statistically, this isn't where you're supposed to be. But you are here, and I'm so proud of you. So now let's talk about your experience signing up for the program. The Application Accelerator is our signature program, and it's not cheap. So talk to us about how it felt when, your breakthrough coach said, LaTisha, I feel 100% confident we can help you. Here's the tuition for the program. Are you ready to move forward so we can get started on, helping you get into your dream school? How did you feel? Was it scary?
Yeah, so it definitely was scary. It was, for me, quite a big of an investment. But one, I felt, reading through the testimonials, reading your background, enabled me to feel confident enough that it wouldn't be money wasted. I also was like, whatever I got to do to make it work, I'm going to make it work. So I went ahead and maxed out my PayPal credit account. I took out another credit card because I like at the end of it all, if it means I've gotten into my dream school and we're also fighting to get scholarship money, then that it balances it out, right? Like I think the rewards are so much greater than the upfront cost of participating and partnering with you in the program. But no, yeah, I mean, the number, it was the number, and I was like, oh, okay, how am I gonna make this work? Because I have to make it work. So yeah, it was daunting, it was scary, but it's so worth it. It is so worth it. It is
awesome. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. So now let's talk about your experience in the program. So let's see. First, let's just talk about the experience of working one-on-one with a consultant. So everybody who joins the Application Accelerator is assigned a consultant. I know you worked with 2 different people. You can talk about, your experience with your consultants because you were with us for 2 seasons. But yeah, with the consultant, just kind of explain to everybody listening and watching, what kind of person is it and what is that relationship like?
Sure. So my first consultant back in 2018 was a woman of color. And she also went to Harvard Law.
Kennedy School. She went to the Kennedy School.
Yeah, okay, the Kennedy School. So she also went to Harvard, based on memory serving. And it was both consultants. I'm gonna concentrate on her first. Both of them have been absolutely wonderful. She really took the time to help me craft my story in a way that I felt so proud of the end result and comfortable in knowing that I gave the very best shot I could. It had been so long since I had written an essay. Like, what is this? Like, I don't know any of this. But she really helped me be able to craft that in a way that was meaningful. We really sat down and talked about like what I actually was trying to say and what I wanted to convey and what I wanted the admissions committee to know about me and why I want to go to law school. So like that was so powerful to be able to and sometimes I look at what I originally wrote and then the end result and it's night and day. It's night and day. So I was so proud of that. We whipped my resume up into shape. Again, it was a night and day situation. When it came to applying for other programs, I was also interested in doing the SEO law fellowship, and I was able to make it through up until the part where it's like, okay, where are you going to school? And that was also thanks to my consultant, because we did mock interviews and stuff like that in preparation. And she didn't take it lightly on me. Like, she gave me hard questions to answer, and really I felt so prepared when it finally became interview time with SEO. And so like that was just such a great experience. And unfortunately, where we were at in the application cycle, because I applied so late, and I feel like there were other factors too. We didn't get the results that we were hoping for, but I still felt like I gave it my very best shot, and that was 100% thanks to my consultant. When I wasn't able to...
So LaTisha, let me pause you, because I know you got waitlisted, but I feel like you also did get accepted.
I did. Okay,
so
I did, but they weren't the schools I wanted. Yeah.
I know, but yeah, let's
talk about that. So the
yeah.
first cycle, what we were able to accomplish was getting waitlisted at the University of Chicago Law, NYU, Columbia, and UPenn.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and then I did get into Loyola here in Chicago, DePaul, and Chicago Kent on a full ride.
All three of them?
Well, Chicago Kent was a full ride. Loyola was a $15,000 scholarship.
Per year or total?
Yeah, per year. And then I don't remember what DePaul was, but I do believe there was money involved.
Okay.
I had my heart dead set on a T14.
That's right. You know,
and it's funny because I also applied to Northwestern that first cycle, and they flat out denied me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so we gave it our very best shot. And so I was by no means like upset with her. Like, she was absolutely wonderful. And outside of her too, it was super helpful being able to come to the weekly calls.
All right, so let's first pause and explain those. So in the application accelerator, we have a weekly Q&A call. And then we have a weekly test prep call and a weekly writing center call. So yeah, go ahead and talk to the audience about your
So yes. So the weekly calls are led by another consultant, and they're for you to be able to come in and ask. It's a weekly Q&A. Ask whatever questions you want, anything you're struggling with. You can also have your essays live edited at that time if you've been able to fix whatever needed to be fixed that your consultant said to work on. I'm trying to figure out the best way to describe it. And if you wanted to also have like another set of eyes on it, if you will, you can also have your essays live edited during those calls. There's a lot of benefits to those calls. The weekly writing center calls are also the same thing, where you can have your essays live edited. So you're able to utilize multiple people with, looking at your essay, making suggestions, making edits to get it to that perfect place where it's presentable for an admissions committee. I didn't go to the testing prep hours because at that point that LSAT, it was beating a dead horse. I took it 3 times. It wasn't happening. Let me just get this story together.
That's right. And your intuition was right for that.
Right. And then in the second cycle, just going over with the other consultant, it was another woman of color. She also, I'm blanking on the.
She went to Berkeley Law.
Thank you. Also another very reputable, prestigious school. And she was also wonderful, helping me craft this story. I was asking like her thoughts because I was a reapplicant. I wanted advice on if it would be a good idea to do a complete rewrite of my personal statement, or if I just add to it. And then we talked through like, if I were to do a rewrite, what would that look like? What different information I would be including? And I explained that, and she thought it was a great idea. So I did a complete rewrite. I mean, the themes were still there of like why I wanted to go to law school, but like the structure of it and some of the information was different than what I included the first time around. And we were able to craft that and make it. I just was so proud of the end result. And again, I felt very confident. Well, I won't say confident. I felt that I gave 100%. Like I did the best I could to get the application to a place where I felt here this is me. Like this is what I have. Like I left it all out. And so I felt good knowing that again I put my very best foot forward. And it resulted in me getting into Northwestern. I was also again waitlisted at UChicago, NYU, and Columbia, and waitlisted at Northwestern, and I was able to get off of Northwestern. I again applied to Loyola because my thought process was, what really matters to me at the end of it all, I still wanted to go to law school. I still wanted to do the things I wanted to do. And so if I didn't get in again, I would go ahead and go to my safety school. And so being admitted to Loyola, I was fully prepared up until last Monday to go to Loyola. They offered me more money this time.
Wow.
$20,000 a year instead of 15. But no, yeah, Northwestern said, hey, yeah, here you go. You're in there.
Beautiful. I love that.
Yes.
And you know, LaTisha, I think your story is a really good example of the power of trusting yourself. Because if you had come to me and said, hey, Kanisha, I have a full ride from Chicago, Kent. I've got $15K a year from Loyola. I would have been like, you know, LaTisha, I think just take it and go, right? But you listened to yourself. And you trusted yourself. You said, no, I'm going to go for what I really want. And now you're getting what you really want.
Yes.
And so I just really want to emphasize that like, yes, we do this professionally. We're the professionals. We are experts, but we're not the expert on your life. Right. And so I'm just so glad that you listened to yourself and, it worked out. It really worked out.
Yes, a top 10 school.
Top 10 law. That's amazing. So now let's talk about, not even top 14, top 10. What? Yeah, amazing. Okay, so now let's talk about the interactions with other people in the program. So some ways you may interact with people, of course, is on the group coaching calls, in the members area. I don't know if you had any private calls with each other or pinged each other to talk. What were the other people in the program like, and what was the benefit of being in a hybrid program that the Application Accelerator is versus just you and a consultant working alone?
I think one of the biggest things was that because not all clients are in one location, right? Like you're based out of Texas. I'm here in Chicago. We have people in all over the world trying to go to their dream schools, and interacting with them, it energizes you, right? Because you're all joined in this collective of trying to get into these schools. You're all struggling with trying to reach those target scores. You're all struggling with trying to get your essays together. And so like we were able to be encouraging to each other. Oops, something to my eye. Encouraging to each other. I utilized the members area. I was able to ask questions. People would answer. It wasn't just like, hey, you're only working with your consultant. Like you could also work with each other and be that sense of encouragement and all of that. So like that's also what kind of helped keep me sane throughout the process, because I knew I wasn't alone with this feeling, right? That other people were also having anxiety and stress over this process. And we can all talk about it. That's what those those motivational calls are for, and like all of that. And then once upon a time, we had a Facebook group that I was also pretty active in.
Yeah, so we used to, just for everybody, we used to have everything on the Facebook group. And then I just really, because I'm so ahead of the curve, was like, you know what? I don't want to be dependent on Facebook for delivering my program.
Yes.
Even though I'm thankful that Facebook is how you found us. And so we moved everything onto a software platform and to Basecamp. So yeah, you were very active in the Facebook group. So yeah, you've been with us so long. You saw that transition from Facebook to
but no, I think it's been wonderful because you also feel inspired, like you're forever inspired by everyone else's story, like hearing everyone else's story and why they're interested in doing what they want to do further energizes you and provides inspiration and like things that you may not have even considered were cool about yourself. They're like, oh, I want to convey that too. I didn't even know that was, why can't I brag about that? Like,
that's right.
You know? So the other clients are also a ball. Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. So LaTisha, what's gonna change about your life and your career now that you're going to go to Northwestern and be a lawyer from a top 10 law school?
I think one of the biggest things is reacclimating to being a student. I've been, as I mentioned earlier, I've been working full time for the last 6 years now, and it's so funny that you asked that because I need to give my notice saying, hey guys, I'm going to law school full time. I can't work here anymore. I'm sorry. But like getting that experience, although the first part of it will be happening during COVID-19, which is scary in and of itself. I'm excited to get into the field that I want to be in. While working in regulatory compliance has sparked this desire, like what I ultimately want to do is consumer protection work. And Northwestern is going to open so many doors for me.
Yes, it will.
Where I can work at a regulator, an AG's office, anywhere. Big firms that have consumer protection practices, anywhere. All I ever have to say is I went to Northwestern.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
So the opportunities are what's gonna change my life the most. I think my options now are so much more than what they were a month ago.
Mm-hmm. The world
2 weeks ago.
Yes. Yes, I love it.
10 days ago.
10 days ago, right?
Right.
Your life has changed. Your future has just exploded wide open.
Yes.
So, LaTisha, I want you to give a motivational talk for that person who's watching this video. Maybe, a young, I don't know why I'm saying young, with a 20-something, it's because I'm 36, so everybody's young.
Everybody's young.
But there's like a Latina or Indigenous person or a white person with a low LSAT who comes from a low income background, just somebody who's just like, man, when I look at the stats and when I look at those photos of the students or whatever, I just don't know if I fit in and
But you do. You also deserve seats at those tables, because why not you?
That's right. So why not you? So I just want you to talk to that person who feels like they're the non-traditional wildcard applicant and is wondering, can this program work for me? Can I get into a top school even though my LSAT is low? Can I do it?
Yeah, I think what was important for me and what was driving me was that I knew the impact I wanted to have. And I knew that impact could be amplified by sheerly getting into these top tier programs. I think it's important to know that you're more than a number, right? They also care about what you've done and what you're trying to do and what your story is. And so the biggest thing that I got out of this program was finding a way to voice that story the best way. Because why not you? As I mentioned earlier, I was afraid that I had no chance. So I literally can't get above a 160. But I did pretty well in school, and I've done all this stuff at work and made all these differences, but I want to make more differences. I want to help more people. So if you are passionate and hungry and know in your heart of hearts that you deserve to be there, and that a number is not going to hold you back and should not hold you back, then this program is the program for you, because it will help you craft your application in a way where you're that irresistible candidate.
I love it.
Yes. Yeah.
Beautiful. LaTisha, I'm so proud of you. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
I want us to talk after this video, because I have a really interesting proposal for what I think could help you get some money to help pay for law school.
Yay!
Yeah. It's a throwback to like when I was in high school and I wanted to go to Europe. I'd never been on a plane, and I did some scrappy stuff, and we're going to talk about that. Okay. And see if we can get you some money to pay for law school.
Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing.
I really appreciate this program. Has honestly changed my life, and I highly, highly, highly encourage it. You're working with a group of people who have similar backgrounds, guys. They could also be that non-traditional candidate. And they were able to work and get in, and they're trying to pay it forward. So I don't see anything. Go for it. Literally go for it.
Wonderful. Thank you, LaTisha.
Yes. Thank you. Take care.
Thanks for watching our video. For more videos just like this, make sure you click subscribe. And if you want to work with us on your graduate school applications, visit us at theartofapplying.com or click on the link below in the description.